Hey, I'm Caleb. I'm just working on some gifts, and speaking of gifts, I thought I'd do a quick Woodworkers gift guide. So if you got a woodworker or maker in your life, here are some ideas of things that they'll probably enjoy. I'm going to break this into sort of three areas of gifts. First will be things you can't have enough of, so you can't really go wrong with these. Any woodworker maker is going to love them. Safety items, so things that make work safer. And then some luxury items, things that are really nice to have, but not necessarily very expensive. Anyway, first off, things you can't have enough of. If I'm talking about things you can't have enough of, that conversation has to start with clamps. You can never have enough clamps. But here's something you may not realize about clamps. Never buy one clamp, and certainly don't look at clamps and go, oh, I'll just get one of each. Clamps always work in pairs, so if you only buy a single type and it doesn't have a partner, it's not as useful as having pairs. I'd rather have two clamps that are the same than two that are different. As far as what kind of clamps to get, I mostly use F-style clamps. I use spring clamps a lot, but my favorite are parallel bar clamps because they provide more equal clamping pressure, and corner clamps are kind of a specialty clamp that I really like to use a lot. Next up is blades. Odds are, if you know a hobbyist woodworker, their blades are dull because buying blades is just not fun. There's no appeal to it. It's just maintenance, but sharp blades make all the difference. So odds are they can do with some new blades. Just go check, if they have a table saw and chop saw, they probably need 10-inch blades. Some chop saws use 12-inch blades though. It says right on the saw blade, or you can get a tape measure and just measure across it and that'll tell you how far. As far as what kind of blades, I like Freud. Freud also makes Diablo. Diablo are the blades you're going to see in the store. The big difference between Freud blades and Diablo blades are the Diablo are more one-time use, not made to be resharpened. The Freud blades have thicker carbide, so they can be resharpened multiple times. So if your hobbyist is the kind of person who's going to be resharpening blades, I've got Amazon links below. You go there and you can find the blades that I like to use in my shop. Okay. Something else that's not fun to buy, but that we need is glue. And so long as this stays out of freezing temperatures, it lasts a super long time. I like to buy it by the gallon because these gallons are normally like $15 to $18 at Home Depot, and it's plenty of glue to last you a really long time. It's not fun to buy, but they'll enjoy it because they're going to use it. This, of course, isn't a very good way to apply glue, so another great gift are these little glue bots. I really like these. I just keep them filled up. The nice thing is the way they work, you can apply glue in any orientation. Doesn't matter if it's upside down, sideways, wherever. If you squeeze this, the glue is gonna come out. You also don't have to worry about shaking the air out of it and getting the glue to the bottom. You just squeeze and it comes out. So these are pretty handy. I've even got miniature ones. I've got like 3 of these. You can't have enough glue bots. Speaking of glue, besides wood glue, the other glue we probably use the most is CA glue, cyanoacrylate glue. Used to be called super glue because I think they were the first one to really mass produce it. Starbond is the glue I use a lot. I am their affiliate, so I've got a discount code for you that'll get you 10% off. But I like these because they do the brown colors, so they have darker CA glues, which is really great for small gap filling in darker woods. The clears work really well, and also all their glues come in these little boxes and they have extra tips. So once your tip fills up with glue and gets hard, which inevitably happens, you can just swap them out because they have extras. They've also got little fine applicators, and the essential is accelerator, because with the accelerator you can put glue on one side, hit it with accelerator, or hit it on the other side. Once you put those two together, it bonds instantly. If your woodworker doesn't have any CA glue yet, get them some glue and accelerator. It's life-changing. This stuff is so handy to have in the shop. If you have a woodworker, you've probably heard them lament sanding. It's just no fun. One of the things that makes it a little more bearable though is good sandpaper. Now, sandpaper does come in a few different varieties, so you'll need to measure their sander or sandpaper they have. I use 6-inch 6-hole. You just need to know how far across it is and how many holes they have. Whenever you go to Klingspor or whatever sandpaper site you want to use, just make sure you got the right diameter and the right number of holes. I like Klingspor because I've used quite a few, and this stuff just seems to last the longest, and it's also a lot cheaper. So you get a cheaper product, so you get a better product cheaper. I mean, isn't that what we always want? Anyways, I pay $20 to $23 for a 50-pack, whereas when I go to the box store, I pay about $10 to $12 for a 10-pack. I'm not great at math, but this is significantly cheaper. I buy a 50 pack of the grits I commonly use. If you're not sure what grits they like to use, then they also have 50 pack variety packs that just come in a variety. I don't have any, but Cling Sport also sells these scrap boxes that everybody loves, and it's 5 or 10 pounds of just random scrap sandpaper offcuts from their manufacturing process, and those also make a really cool gift. Now, on the pricier side of things we can't have enough of, power tool batteries. Everyone loves power tools. More and more tools are going cordless, which is amazing. It's so much easier. I think it's even safer. And the cordless tools now are actually stronger, more powerful than some of the corded varieties. All you really need to know is what brand they have, because fortunately all the brands have gone to where whatever they have one battery that fits all their tools. So whether they like Milwaukee or Rigid, DeWalt, Nokia, Ryobi, just go see what brand cordless tools they have, buy them some batteries, can't go wrong. Those are the things you can't have enough of. Now some safety items that are really nice to have. I love my RZ mask. These don't fit everyone, but most people who try them really like them. The handy thing about them is they're so easy to get on and off. They just go around and Velcro. So there's no like 2 or 3 straps to deal with. They work around eye protection and ear protection if you're wearing them, and they're just really comfortable. They breathe well. So I'm in Memphis, it gets really hot, but this mesh breathes really nice. So these are cool. For ear protection, I really like using active ear protection. So these actually have little microphones in it, so when sounds are loud, they cut off and they just function as normal ear protection. When I turn my machine off though, they can actually amplify the ambient sound and make sure that I still hear what's going wrong. So if I still hear what's going on around me. So once I cut my machine off, I don't have to take off my ear protection to have situational awareness. Of course, not everyone likes over-the-ear protection, and a lot of people like to listen to music or podcasts, audiobooks in the shop. For them, IsoTunes is probably a good option because they're Bluetooth, but also OSHA rated. I'll have a link for them below. Probably one of the most obvious hazards in the shop is all these sharp spinning things we deal with. Push blocks are a great way to help with them. Microjig makes a variety of safety devices that are really handy. I have 2 of these that work great on the jointer and bandsaw for keeping my hands away from the blades. One of the things I like about this is you have these little pieces that drop down, so they kind of hook your material to help pull it through, so you're not just having to deal with friction, so you don't have to mash on your piece to keep a grip because they catch the back of it, which is really handy. Microjig also has a really cool table saw system that's a push block that a lot of people like a lot. Another safety item that's kind of adds up when you buy a bunch of them are nitrile gloves or latex gloves. These are so handy for dealing with finishes, dyes, stains, whatever. I'm showing you dirty ones because I need to go buy myself more of them. I avoid it because the cost kind of adds up. But you can also get these at Harbor Freight pretty cheap, or whatever box store you prefer. These are priceless to have on hand. Last in safety, I'm going to talk about Halcyon or any water-based finish. Get them some water-based finish if they're using oil. The water is just as strong as oil-based finishes anymore, but it's low VOC, so all that stuff that's going to burn your lungs and kill your brain cells, this doesn't do that like the oil-based finishes and lacquer. Also, they tend to dry a lot faster. So this is a 1-hour recoat. You can lay down up to 5 coats in a day with this stuff. So I can build a really fast coat. It looks really nice. It's gonna help me stay alive a little bit longer, which is a bonus. And it does everything a finish wants while being a little healthier. I've got a discount code below. You can get 10% off this and other Total Boat finishes, or you can get it off Amazon. Another nice to have are woodworking magazines. You can get all of them digitally now, but I kind of like getting print, but maybe I'm stuck in 1990. The big ones are Popular Woodworking, Fine Woodworking, Woodcraft, Woodsmith, American Woodworkers Journal. There are a few more. Those are kind of the big ones, and you can get a good discount on them by going online, registering like you're going to buy, make sure they have your email address and physical address, and if you don't complete the deal, they'll send you a pretty good discount that you can then use to get a gift subscription for someone. Some other really nice stuff to have is nice tools. My buddy JT DFM Toolworks, he makes really precision high-end measuring and marking devices. I have his little square. This is cool because it has all these tiny holes in it, so you can make very precise marks, as well as the pin, you drop it in there, and it tells you what the angle is, so you can nail specific angles. I've also got his miniature square, which is really handy to have. It also acts as a centering device. Once you put 2 pins in it, turn that, and it'll find center, and a pencil fits in the middle. He's got a bunch of other really neat products, and on these two, if you go to Amazon and use code YCMT2, he'll give you 10% off. A company I've recently started doing some work with is Milner-Hoffen. We all use drill bits. If you've been around your woodworker, you've seen drill bits, and you also know we break drill bits and go through drill bits. The really cool thing about Milner-Hoffen is they have a lifetime warranty on almost all of their products, including their drill bits. So if you buy them a set of these, if they ever break it, all you got to do is send it in with like $2 for return shipping. They'll send you a brand new drill bit. It's crazy for the lifetime. So if you want to get them the last set of drill bits they'll ever need, that'll also work on hardened steel, stainless steel, tile, glass, ceramics, plastics, everything, head over to Milner-Hoffen and I'll have a code that'll get you 10% off. That's YCMT2. Speaking of drilling metal, a lot of woodworkers do some metal work tangential to woodworking. We use it as support, to make bases, to strengthen and reinforce items, which means we have to cut, grind, and maybe even do some welding. Whether you do welding or not, we're still normally cutting and grinding metal, and this disc makes that so much easier. I've sworn off fiber discs for a long time because they can explode in your face and kill you, among other really horrible things. This is guaranteed not to do that. It's also metal, super tough, so it's not going to just break. A friend of mine dropped his angle grinder with this in it and it was just fine. It's also all diamond, so they last a super duper long time. 40 grit on one side, 80 grit on the other side. So when you put this in, you can cut and grind. You don't have to swap between your discs. And just like the drill bits, the amazing thing about this, it says a lifetime warranty. So if you ever burn it up, wear it out, break it, whatever, all you gotta do is mail it to them with like $5 or $6 for shipping, and they'll send you a new one for free. So it's the last angle grinder disc they'll ever have to buy. Pretty handy. And again, 10% off these with YCMT2. Some people are really picky, and even after all this, you still don't know what to get them. Well, they know what they want. So you can always get them gift cards. A gift card to Rockler is always a good thing. They have some physical locations, but they're online. They'll ship you almost anything. I have a lot of Rockler products and they carry all kinds of other brands. So just go to rockler.com and get them a gift card. Something else your woodworker might like is if you're on YouTube, you probably know about YouTube Woodworkers because they watch them. Most of us have swag, so go buy them some swagger merch from the people they like to watch. You might have noticed I recently switched over to blue, got my blue shirts now and my blue sweatshirts. Underneath my video in the merch shelf, you'll see where you can order these. I've also got sweatshirts. And if you order before December 9th and use code NOV10, N-O-V for November 10, that'll give you 10% off your Teespring order if they want my merch. Well, there you go. I hope that helps. If you're a woodworker and there's something you really like or would like to get that I missed, please leave a comment below. And remember, one of the best gifts you can always give your woodworker is just the time to make something.